Hi, I'm James Nelson, Vice Chairman at Cushman & Wakefield, and I'm here to bring you the Nelson Reports November 2016 video exclusive. So in this month's blog, I talked about, will foreign investment be the savior for the New York City investment sales market? Now, Cushman & Wakefield just put out a report for the third quarter this year, and it does look like the total dollar volume is making a sharp decline. In fact, we've had 29% less dollar volume in the first three quarters. We're on pace at this point to do $44.4 billion, and what that accounts for is about $30 billion in the first three quarters. So that's the bad news. Now, the positive news, and I brought my notes with me today because I'm going to go over a lot of statistics, so make sure you have your pen and paper out. But what I will say is that the Association for Foreign Investors in Real Estate did give New York City still the #1 top rank, and at the beginning of the year they said that 64% of foreign investors said they would increase their allocation this year. Meanwhile, 31% said that they would hold. London was a close second, then San Francisco, and then Berlin. So New York City still holding the top rank. Now, as far as what foreigners have invested in so far year to date, Real Capital Analytics tracks 58 foreign purchases for a total of $14.375 billion. Amazingly, London has had more than double the amount of sales year to date from foreign investors, but has accounted for slightly less dollar volume at $14.2 billion. So again, with Brexit still up in the air, pretty amazing that those sales numbers have still been so active. If you're keeping score, then Sydney and Shanghai came next with respectively $6 billion and $5.1 billion of foreign investment there. Now, it's important to note that when Real Capital Analytics tracks New York City sales, they're really talking about Manhattan, and if they did include the boroughs, you know, Brooklyn alone is a $10 billion market, so that would certainly distance us. Now, when Cushman & Wakefield tracks foreign investment, they're really looking at global inflows, outflows, and the net result. So the Americas and EMA both brought in $24 billion of investment, but the outflows in the Americas was $19.5 billion, meaning a net investment of $4.1 billion. Meanwhile, EMA had a lot more inflows, meaning that their net was actually a total of $8.65 billion. Finally, Asia Pacific had the largest disparity. They had $6.4 billion of inflows, but $19.1 billion of outflows, meaning that they had a negative net investment of $12.7 billion. So a lot of numbers, a lot of statistics here, but I'll give you one more set that I think should be helpful, which is the portion of foreign investment in New York City. We're now, Real Capital Analytics tracking 37% of investments here in New York are coming from foreign investors. That's compared to the rest of the U.S., which is at 21%. So, long story short, there is no question that if we did not have this enormous uptick in foreign investment, that the declines this year would be a lot more substantial. Looking back at the past years of foreign investment as a percentage of the whole in New York City, 29% and 27% over the last 2 years. So at 37%, a real significant amount. I also want to add that it's not just about China. China gets a lot of the airtime, but Germany has been a big investor this year. 8 purchases worth a total of $2.1 billion. You also have Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Hong Kong, all contributing over $1 billion of investment here in New York. Finally, what I will say with these third quarter stats is that it continues to be a seller's market here in New York. Only 2.8% of the inventory turned over this year. That's going to make it more challenging for domestic and foreign buyers alike to purchase here. Again, we're going to have less sales this year. When you look at the total New York City market, we're only on track for about 4,000 properties that sell in total. And as a result, with this sharp decline, there's actually been an uptick in pricing. That's not unusual because that means that owners who are not getting their prices are not selling. So overall prices year over year has gone from $491 a foot to $540 a foot. Cap rates still dropping citywide to 4.57%. So again, thank you for sticking with me with all these statistics, but want to show you that there's actually some research behind all of these predictions. And again, the foreign investment here has been a welcome addition and has helped our market, the safety deposit box for the world. That's it for this week. Thank you.